The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Mitch here with another quick episode of What to Watch. And first up in cinemas this week, there's only one, and it's a big one.
Want to talk about what's haunting you, or should we wait for a third act flashback?
Go yourself.
Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie Ryan Reynolds has been promising and threatening for years. Finally, he convinced his best mate Hugh Jackman to unretire as Wolverine and don the claws for the first time in 7 years. And we get a frenemy road trip movie navigating its way through deep-cut comic book lore and pop culture references with bloodier violence and dirtier humour than the first two Deadpools, maybe combined.
Hi, Peanut.
Deadpool obviously is a character that breaks the fourth wall, but the level that this movie jokes about its own quality, Jackman's own and very recent divorce, the struggling state of the Marvel movies overall, and how this film has come during a rough period. It even includes an actor in a role to joke about the fact that they never got their own movie because Disney bought everything, which kind of makes this movie possible in the first place. It's got layers. In the end, whatever you think of what I just said tells you exactly what you need to know. Whatever you think of this movie now is how you're going to feel if you see it. Don't like comic book movies? This is not going to change your mind. Think this is going to be great because you like over-the-top violence and dirty laughs? Well, yeah, you're in luck. My only condition, go see this when it's going to be busy. Friday, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, you need to experience it with a big crowd. To streaming, and it's a movie I can't believe it didn't get a big screen release.
Gus March Phillips, I have a mission I want you to lead.
What's the plan?
To neutralize the German U-boats in the North Atlantic.
Seriously, I tell you there's a British version of Inglourious Basterds directed by Guy Ritchie starring Henry Cavill, and you're telling me that doesn't sound like a movie you want to go watch. Well, that's what it is, and it's based on a true story, with a very hard emphasis on based. You could almost argue inspired by.
We're losing the war. Hitler's not playing by the rules, so neither are we.
It's the story of Operation Postmaster, with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill putting together an off-the-books team that essentially became the first ever Black Ops unit, tasked with an unappreciated yet extremely important mission during 1942 World War II.
If I'm to do this, I'll need my own team. You won't like them. They're all bad.
They'll need to be.
It also stars Reach's Alan Ritchson and Crazy Rich Asians' Henry Golding. The movie is probably the least Guy Ritchie movie, and maybe wouldn't have played so well on the big screen after all, despite some pretty great action set pieces, but does play pretty well on streaming, and you can catch it right now on Amazon Prime Video. Also now available in full is Presumed Innocent on Apple TV+.
Madam Clerk, if you'll read the verdict.
Yes, Your Honor.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Rosette K. Savage.
The Jake Gyllenhaal series premiered its 8th and final episode this week. It will be back for a second season, but as an anthology with a completely new story and characters. Honestly, love it or hate it, this weekend is going to be all about Deadpool and Wolverine. It's going to make some serious bank at the box office. And releases on Comic-Con weekend, where there is bound to be a mountain more news that we can talk about next week on What to Watch.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.